Hold on, let me get this set up. Because they won't be able to see our screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me refresh here.
Starbucks don't want my business. They were like, I'm sorry, we don't know who you are. And we can't find your account. Okay, so bye-bye. Back to plan one. Seven leaves, where's that at?
All right.
I love this song.
You can go to your Facebook right now and see if it popped up on your thing.
Facebook, or are you? The actual book or the messenger?
No, the actual page.
Okay. All right, so I'm on my page. Notifications. Tag me in a video. Review now. Well, there you are. And add to profile. All right, it's on there.
Okay. So bam. Let me switch the screen up. So you see the screen, right?
Hold on. Newsfeed. On my profile, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What's up with it, John Russell Ferguson up in the Hizzle for Shizzle? We got Shannon from Rose Essential Gift Baskets up in the Hizzle for Shizzle. We got a hot one, ladies and gentlemen. We got a interview coming up with Sammee Matthews, a dope BBW film star, owner, CEO of Thick Sundays. That was the BBW Gentlemen's Club, strip club that Miss Sammee Matthews brought to the Gizane in Las Vegas, Nevada. Yay. We just getting some things straight up over there. Okay, can you see the screen where we live at?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, can you see the chat?
Yeah, Rose Essentials gifts came up.
All right, for sure. I'm about to switch the screen right now. Bam.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
Oh, there's my pretty face.
Okay, cool deal. So you can hear me cool and everything?
Mm-hmm.
You might want to mute the sound on your on that video, just so we don't get no feedback, and you can just use the voice from the phone. But you can still look at it though. Just hit the little mute
I did
button.
just mute it.
Okay, for sure. We all good now.
Do you get any feedback or no?
Nah, we good now. I can hear you loud and clear. No feedback. We coming in super duper crispy. Yay. Shout out to all the party people that joined right now. You are now tuned in to TreeTvRadio, the #1 media source for BBW, SS BBW, and plus size women. Yay. Ladies and gentlemen, today we got a hot interview with BBW, adult film star, owner of Thick Sundays, which was the BBW strip club, Miss Sammee Matthews. Yay. What's up with it, Miss Sammee Matthews? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing all good up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Ready to come out there to Vegas, TreeTvRadio and the whole clickration will be out there next week,
Yes, they will.
So I'm ready. Yay. What's been popping with you, Miss Sammee? How you been doing?
I'm doing all right.
Oh, yeah?
Living life.
What's popping out there in Vegas right now? Give us an update.
Everything is popping. You got, what is that? There's a BBW bash at the Plaza this week. There's different stuff happening around the city. What you want me to tell you about?
Okay, well, I guess we can start it off by telling us, is the city fully black open?
Yes.
So everything's out there popping in Vegas, right?
Yes, everything is open. Different places have, they control the face mask.
Uh-huh.
Same with Uber and Lyft drivers. They control the face mask. You just kind of got to go with it with the stroll. If you're on the street, you don't have to wear a face mask. You will see people wearing it, but to be honest with you, Vegas does its own thing. Vegas don't care. Vegas just doesn't care.
Vegas doesn't care. Is it a lot of people out there since things been opening back up? Is it like more traffic
Yes.
than usual?
Yes, every weekend the hotels have been sold out.
Wow. That's crazy. I can't wait to get down there. Yay. So I guess we want to start off this interview by, getting to know you a little bit more and telling us how you got your start out in the whole BBW entertainment game.
Wow. That's like going back 20 years.
20 years?
Just about, I swear. Let's see. There was a producer out here in Las Vegas by the name of Pascal Quack, and he had, him and his first wife had a BBW model site, and he was a troll. Pascal was always on, at that time, MySpace, and that's how he found me.
You say, hold up. You say he was a troll?
Huh? Yeah, he's a troll. He looks for BBWs to do, shoots and stuff. That's what it is. You're trolling a website.
Okay.
So it wasn't, in a disrespectful manner that I said that. It's just that, he was trolling through profiles, found me, and he has shot other names. He shot Desiree Devine, Kelly Shabari, Brittany Bunny. Who else? I'm not 100% sure, but I think he might have shot Sabrina Love. So, he's been around for a very, very long time. So, they call him Dutch. So Dutch had hit me up and said, hey, I'll give you $1,000 to, let me shoot you. I said, sure. I, never had done it before, and I thought, why not? I had no idea what I signed up for. He said that he wanted to shoot pretty girl steals. He lied. So Dutch and his wife picked me up from my home, took me to their house over in Blue Diamond. And, it was a beautiful house. And he had a room set up to do the shoot. His wife was present during the shoot of the pretty girl stills. They didn't tell me that I needed to bring anything or anything like that. So, of course, it was kind of awkward when she was like, oh, do you have anything to wear for the shoots? Oh, well, here, since you don't, put this on.
Was this your first time doing a shoot like this?
Do what?
I said, was this your first time doing a shoot like this?
Very, very first shoot.
Was you nervous?
I was sick to my stomach.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't know what to expect. So I, went on ahead, put this, and it was a very pale colored teddy negligee that she gave me. And I put it on, and I was like, I had a very scared look on my face from what, the pictures had shown. So I went on ahead and I did it. And his wife went downstairs. So when she went downstairs, he came over to me and said, so now this is the other part. And I said, what's that? He says, I'll I'm going to do a POV with you. POV, for those that don't know, is a point of view shot where they hold the camera down to your face or whatever body part, feet, whatever, and they talk to you in the process. Okay, so I said, sure, why not? So he had me sit on the carpet, and the carpet was like a long blue shag, kind of 70-ish, and there was an orange chair in front of me, and he went on ahead and walked over. Now, mind you, I'm totally nude for this picture, and he rubs his hand on my ass and tries to put himself inside me.
Oh, wow.
I looked at him and I said, no, this shit is not there. No, we're not doing this. Okay. I did not sign up for this. He says, oh, I'm sorry. You know, your ass is so beautiful and, you know, it's so white and I just couldn't control myself.
Hold up. I don't mean to laugh, but hold up.
You got to imagine, I'm naked and you're telling me this shit and you've got your hand on my ass. You just tried to put your penis inside me. No condom, nothing. And, you know, you couldn't control yourself.
This was this dude's response. Oh my God, I couldn't help myself. That ass was so milky and
white.
Yeah,
that was his response. Oh my God, I couldn't. So how many other people did you say that to? You know?
That's crazy.
To me, that felt like, I really felt like you had just, you know, invaded my space. So he was like, okay, well, we won't do that. So he goes to the closet. And in the closet is this box. And it's like one of those clothing moving boxes. And he pulls out this huge ass dildo. The dildo was about as tall as I am.
Oh, wow.
And I'm 5'1".
So let me ask you,
so,
he never talked to you. You know, did you guys like have a conversation before the shoot to say what the shoot required?
No, he never mentioned this part. Pretty girl stills had nothing to do with your ass drooling over my ass cheek and holding my ass and telling me that you were lost control. I don't, that shit didn't fly with me. So when he brought out the box and he showed me this huge ass dildo, that was the same dildo that he had used when shooting with Desiree Divine. How the fuck you gonna give me somebody else's dildo? And how did you wash it? How did you clean it? I said, that's not gonna fly either, bro. Sorry. So he says, okay. How about this? How about you get on your knees and you suck my dick? I started laughing. And this was all, he was shooting all this. It was all on a point of view. And I said, sure. I said, and I'm going to tell you how this is going to work out. He says, what's that? I said, I don't suck white men's dick. They make me sick. I mean, I'm doing everything I can to get out of that situation without, drawing alarm to where it could potentially hurt me or hurt him, because I could have pushed his ass over the banister. So he was like, don't worry about it. Just act like you're sucking it, and that you like it, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Do you know what the quickest way for a man to pull out his dick from a woman's mouth is? I'm asking.
Enlighten us.
How about I act like I'm going to vomit on your shit?
Oh.
So it's on film. He can't use it because I did not sign for the release. And that was footage that got away. And that's not the first time that, footage has gotten away because of me. I mean, it's been years. I'm going to come clean about something. So, since nobody will ever see it, I was involved in a video shoot for a gangbang. And I had an uncircumcised partner. The uncircumcised partner asked me to suck his dick, and I did. And I busted the hymen between the forehead and the base.
What the hell? Wait, okay. The
I
hymen.
sucked him circumcised.
So what is the hymen?
You know that piece that when a dick is uncircumcised, it looks like it's got a cover on it. Mm-hmm. So when you pull the uncircumcised foreskin down, there's a piece of skin that looks like it's attached, and it allows you to fold the skin back. So when you have the circumcision done, that skin is clipped and stitched down. Sometimes they use surgical tape. Sometimes they stitch it with like 3 stitches of dissolving stitches. But ultimately, he was not. But when I was done, he was.
Damn. So was that painful for him?
I never asked. He didn't scream or anything like that. But I made them destroy that content. Because I was not going to have it go out, in the beginning of the career where, I sucked a dick so hard that I busted, his hood. So that would have been a career detriment, and I would have never have gotten as far as I had. So I made them delete it, and I did not sign for it to be released because, people are crummy, and he might have had a chip in the camera, I don't know. And that, that was 2 out of 3 incidents that I would allow myself to fail. Mm-hmm. So I didn't fail anymore. I decided at that point to take a different avenue and start shooting as the producer, as the director. And then that's when I transitioned it into I guess you could say marketing for a lot of the BBWs that were in AVN.
And what is AVN?
Huh?
I'm saying, what is AVN?
AVN is the Adult Video Network.
Oh, okay.
I, would do their pictures, do a lot of their editing on their announcements that they were coming to the city, stuff like that. So I just kind of went took that direction, and then one day I was sitting at a table with my partner, and he looked at me and I looked at him and I said, "Hey." He said, "What?" I said, "Wouldn't it be something if there was a BBW club here in Vegas?" He said, "So do it." And I looked at him and I was like, "What?" He said, "So make it happen." I said, "Are you serious?" And he was like, "Yeah." So that's how Thick Sundays came about. And then came the movie, and then came the book.
Oh, so there's a Thick Sundays movie as well?
Yeah, there was a documentary that was done on us, and it was called Fat for Cash, and it was done by the UK.
Oh, okay.
But you can find it on IMBD videos. It's on there. Fat for Cash. And it's me. And a few other people that shouldn't have been, now saying this after everything. A few people that didn't deserve to be on there. So.
Why you say they didn't deserve to be on there?
If I knew what I knew then, now, and how they really felt about me, I would have never had them be a part of something that was legendary and done tastefully about the BBW strip game.
What are some of the highs and lows of the BBW strip game? Do you think, is the BBW strip game different from the regular strip game? In the sense of...
Yes.
Okay, tell us in what ways is it different?
Well, BBWs are not really welcomed in the Las Vegas venues. They, the stigma for the Vegas strip clubs is it has to be fine and dandy, and look and smell like candy. And if you don't, have the attributes that they're looking for, you're not working. And one of the things that I did that was different was I didn't make the girls pay a house fee. I didn't make them, you know, shell out for what? For somebody just to stand there? That wasn't how I looked at it. These girls came out here, they came from all over the United States to have one night where they didn't have to share their earnings with anybody. They were never put on a marquee until it was me. I put several girls on marquees where they were performing or doing signings or anything like that. I never made them feel like they were less. When you have a strip club like Sapphires, for example, they have 170 dancers on regular rotation. You put a BBW up there and they'll have a problem, because all of a sudden they're not the center of attention. They're, they want to be the center of attention. They want that $10 lap dance. And here you have this BBW that's able to crawl up and, do the Cadillac clap with their heels and slide down that pole just like them. Difference is, when they hit that floor and did the split, you heard a thump. And all eyes were on them. I had never talked to anybody about the experience that I had with Deja Vu when I did the baddest bitch in the game. And that was the point where, I had, and my partner had made a decision that was, let's take this a step farther. And that was, let's go total nude in a skinny club. Deja Vu and Deja Vu Industries have a tendency to use BBWs as jokes. They had suggested that we make the show funny. I wasn't going to make the show funny at all. That wasn't the purpose. They wanted the girls to stick peeps underneath their fupas and shake them and make them fall out. Eat hot dogs while doing jumping jacks. Stand on a scale and eat ice cream and try to do, the nay-nay. That wasn't what I was, and my partner, we never wanted to shed any kind of negativity. So I went on ahead and booked the show at Deja Vu here in Las Vegas. And they waited until almost 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning to do the show. The show was great. They wanted, of course, to vote for who was the baddest bitch. And I took all of the forms before they went to the judges, and I crossed out one of the things that they were voting for, and I felt that was very, very wrong for them to even do that. And that was, they wanted flexibility. If you're a fat girl, how much flexibility you got? If you are 350 pounds, 400, 500 pounds, 650, how much flexibility do you really have? So that was one of the things that started the spiraling ending with me and Deja Vu. So I went on ahead, did the show. Show was great. The skinny girls were mad because, people saved their money to tip the big girls. And the girls walked away with, a nice chunk of money. And the winner was Spice the Dancer. She's a wonderful dancer. And she was offered from Deja Vu right then and there to go to another city and dance. And that was what I was trying to do, was to get the BBWs, the SS BBWs, into a actual legitimate strip club. Not somebody's warehouse or somebody's barn or, something in that matter. I wanted all of us to be seen as the respectful of able-bodied, sound mind women that they were and still are.
So basically, you guys wanted the treatment that regular sized women got, that all the other women were getting, per se.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. There's like I've seen like, when the mainstream like put the spotlight on BBWs, it's always the depiction of them eating food. Like you said, they try to turn it into like a joke.
Yes.
Like Mike Epps, he came out, with his song for the big girls, and it was
I love that song.
Yeah, but you see in the video, it was them eating food. How do you feel about that depiction? Like, people always want to associate a big woman with eating food.
I feel that is a negative stigma. What people don't understand is big women don't necessarily ask to be a big person. I know I didn't. Mine stemmed from me being born 3 pounds 9 ounces. And because I was born premature, they started to force feed and do all that other crap and try to make me a dischargeable weight from the hospital. And I've always felt like, I've always felt like I could have done so much more as far as, me personally.
Now, when you say force feed, I want you to like break that down to the audience. Like,
like the G tubes and stuff. When they, actually insert the tube into your throat to go into your stomach or through your nose, and they fill it up with Ensure, and they give you so many ounces per minute to help, build up the body weight and the strength and the nutrients that you need as a child.
Mm-hmm.
So I pretty much didn't think anything bad about food, as far as my family was concerned, stuff like that, because, I grew up in an Italian family. Everybody was big.
Mm-hmm.
We lived a big life. At one point of my life, though, when I was 12, my mom thought, no, I'm sorry, let me go back. I was not 12. I was I think I was 10. My mom took me to a doctor that's no longer here in Vegas. His name was Dr. Wurgis. And Dr. Wurgis put me on a diet. And I'm 10 years old on a diet. And I walk into this doctor's office, and he's like, oh, she's cute in the face, but let's help get down that weight in the waist. So I did it because my parents, oh, Sammee, that's the right thing to do. And then, of course, I walk in on my mom and dad in the cabinets at 11 o'clock at night, filling their faces with Fritos and cupcakes and shit. And I'm like, why can you do it and I can't? So I started hiding food, started sneaking food. And then here I am again. I'm in 12th. I was 12 years old, in the 7th grade, getting ready to go into the 8th grade, and I can't walk through the school bus because my hips are too wide. So for one summer, all I did for 3 months consecutive, I ate, slept, and drank exercise to drop 2 sizes in pants so that I could walk between the bus seats and not be made fun of.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I see people out in public, ridicule or make fun or, make jokes about, a big woman eating something or, oh, she needs to eat a salad. What? Bitch, where? Because the salad actually has more calories than the hamburger that she's eating. It's all the shit you put on top of the salad that makes it unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have men out there that really find feeding women as a sexual arousement, but also as a control tactic.
And that's
I've
what I
been there,
want
done that.
to I want to touch on that. And is there like there's a terminology they call that's for men who like feeding women per se. And what's the correct terminology that they use?
Feederism.
Feederism. So it's an actual word, right?
Mm-hmm. There's
And
actual BBW clubs for feederisms. There's all sorts of, like date sites for feederisms. You have men that will send you thousands of dollars to watch you eat. I know. I lived that life. I lived it for 6 years.
so what
And
is going on?
huh?
What is going on psychologically, right there? Like a man, he pays you all these thousands of dollars for you to eat. Is there some type of gratification or enjoyment that he's receiving from watching you eat?
Yes, he had. I can remember sitting across the table and eating and looking up, and he had this look like it was a look of satisfaction of, I have her, she's eating, ooh, and ultimately it built, you build a conversation around that. Oh, you like that food? I never knew that food could look like that. So or can you lick that ice cream cone again? And the whole time there's a sexual deviant in his head.
So these men equate you eating food with sexual arousal.
Yes.
Wow. That's kind of deep.
Absolutely. It's really, it's heart-wrenching the extent that some people will even go as far as to lie and say they are a feeder, and they'll, send you these gift cards, right? But then they'll turn around and those gift cards are already used. So they want you to beg. So now it's the narcissistic behavior that is kicking in of that feeder. He knows, because now you have been in his presence for so long. He knows what buttons to push. He knows what to say. And get this, sometimes there even is a third person, and it's his significant other. And she does the primping and does the presentation to you of what the situation is going to involve that night.
Okay. So let me play devil's advocate here for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Some may want to say that what's the harm in, a man wanting to lavish a woman with food, and wants her to eat, and that's satisfaction and arousal to him. Is there some type of harm in that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Psychologically, there is.
Break that part of it down to us.
Okay. When I was involved with the feeder, psychologically, I felt like I didn't stand a chance. Every time there was an argument or a disagreement, here came chocolate, here came Postmates, here came something in the aspect of food. So basically, he was telling me, in a, I would say, parentheses, sweet way, to shut up. Food has a way of becoming a comforter, because it does not argue, it doesn't make you feel stupid, it doesn't do or make fun of you. You know, it's there, it's warm, it's welcoming, and it wants you to put it in its mouth. You take a feeder and you take that particular situation where he has just now made you feel like shit because you didn't gain enough weight or something. You're going to allow that person, because you've been manipulated and convinced that this is really what he wants, and you're going to allow him to continue to feed you. And it's not going to be any ordinary food at that time. It's going to be lavish food, truffles, lobster, crab, tomahawk steaks, you know, things like that. And you're going to go home afterwards and you're going to be so full. And guess what? That's when the abuse starts, because now he wants to feed you more and more and more, to the point where you feel like you just want to get sick.
And it's like the feeder feeding you all this food in hopes of you gaining weight?
Yes.
That's like one of the primary things, right?
If you didn't gain weight, you did something wrong. And that's when the abuse really got bad. If you lost weight or didn't gain weight in that week, here came the weight gaining pills. Here came you had to eat every 3 hours, and he watched you on cam. And he would tell you, put it in your mouth, and make you feel like you had to do this in order to live.
So he also uses the food as like a manipulative weapon, right? To control the woman?
Absolutely, yes. It is a manipulative weapon. It's a control. And if you gain weight, you're doing a great job. And instead of being rewarded in, normal things like flowers, you got a 5-layer triple chocolate death threat cake, or a dos leche cheesecake, or a day at Fuga de Chao. And those were like the goals to get you to do that. Unfortunately for me, I had to make a choice. I was still working, and I was still a feedie. And
so there's feeder, which is the guy who feeds the woman, and there's feedee, which is the woman receiving this abuse from the man, right?
Yes.
Okay.
For me, I had to make a conscious decision if I wanted to continue that life. The life was lucrative financially, don't get me wrong. But emotionally, I was a wreck. I was very unstable. People were looking at me. Here was this little head with all this red hair and this big ass body. I looked like the Michelin tire lady. And it really wrecked me. So I had an accident. I fell in a business, tore both of my ACLs, have 2 meniscus shifts, 6 millimeters to the right. I herniated, strangled, and flattened a major artery on the left side of my body. I have essential tremors now. I have nerve spasms all the time. They believe that at the time of the fall that I might have had a very minor stroke, because of, at one point, I had problems speaking. And that's when I decided at that point, to come out of the public light and work on me. Well, thanks to the terrible medical here in Nevada and bullshit excuses, I never got treated for the injuries. I slipped through the cracks, and instead of confiding into food, the doctor had given me an ultimatum. You needed to lose weight in order to walk, or you're going to be in this wheelchair for the rest of your life. What do you want to do? And then that's when me, the wheelchair, my business partner, and my best friend all came to him, to my house, and we threw out all the stuff that possibly I could eat and that would make me gain weight. And I went on a very stringent protein diet, and I lost the first year 110 pounds. The second year, I plateaued at 199 pounds. And recently,
so at this time, you're like out of the whole feeder relationship thing, right?
Yes, I completely, there were extreme circumstances and I let it go. With letting it go, I also lost the financial help that I was receiving.
How long were you in this relationship?
Almost 6 years.
Okay.
And like I said, I pretty much had lost everything and had to start all over. So I did have the house. The house I kept up until COVID. I still have my car. I still have somewhat of a life that I'm rebuilding. But I will say this. Nothing changed as far as my legs are concerned. I'm grateful that I was, for 29 years in the nursing industry and worked in rehabilitation. I've been rehabbing myself for the last 4 years. I am able to walk more with, an apparatus. I'm not ashamed of my wheelchair. I'm not ashamed of my walker. Hell, I still wear wedges and platforms with, my walker, and I still wear my heels in my wheelchair. They don't define who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I am who I created the persona of. And now I'm living a very, what's the word am I looking for? A very healthy lifestyle. I have no stress at all.
That's good.
I don't seriously, I had to let everything go in order for me to heal mentally and physically.
Would you say like the feeder lifestyle contributed a lot to you being in that condition where you feel like,
Yes.
you were stressed out and
Yes.
your health was failing?
Yes. I was always trying to make somebody happy. My children, my significant other, my feeder, my friends. I just, no. It was too much. And it was funny because after I had my accident, people in the BBW community started to treat me very differently. Very long friendship I had with one of the models, and she had asked me one day to meet her for coffee. She never showed up. She went to go shoot a porn. And when I had found out about it, because she had posted it on Twitter, I called her out. And to show how unstable a lot of these BBW girls are that are in the industry, she decided at that point to say to me, "Where do you live? Because I will come over there and I will beat your ass myself." Because I said to her that she was embarrassed of my wheelchair.
You see that question up in the chat? Somebody asked, does she sometime miss being a
feeder?
Yeah.
I just saw it now. No, I don't. I don't miss being a feeder because I actually had to go through therapy. The therapy that I had to go through,
Do you miss the financial aspect of it?
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you, like, we were talking about like the men get some type of sexual arousal from watching you eat food and gaining weight.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the only thing that the man that's a feeder does, or does he still be affectionate with that woman?
There is affection to be given. They will take time in your personal, in your personal care. They'll take you to make sure that you're medically and mentally and, as far as your dental is concerned, they'll make sure that everything is that. Um, it's, it's a very, awkward situation because what they look at you as is not a person. They look at you as an accomplishment and a token.
An object, huh?
Right. And your object sits there and eats on cam all day long, makes a check, and doesn't have to even leave the bed. The sad part about it is that you do have to leave the bed. And when then you do leave the bed, you have a tendency of walking past a mirror and asking yourself, what does he even see in me? We don't, with my feeder, we did not have intercourse. We didn't have a sexual relationship. Which I think probably was for the better when it came to me. Because, again, I have a preference in my intimate life. And he wasn't it. So, you become very isolated, and that's what the person wants. They want you away from your friends, they want you away from your family, your business associates, all of that, so that they can mold you into a object of their desire. And all they desire to do, really, is manipulate, embarrass, and enable you.
And we got a question from Chris Walter. He says, I think that she says, did you call the authorities after being treated like that?
How can you call the authorities and tell them what? I'm sorry, somebody wants to beat me up because we didn't have coffee? Is that, are they trying to say that I should have called as the person that was a feedie? Or are they saying about the other BBW model wanting to beat me up while I'm in a wheelchair?
I guess they mean like the feeder dude when they was, because I guess she probably looking at it as a form of abuse, and I think it's more of like a psychological thing that's
psychological abuse is very hard to she asked about the BBW model. Okay. Again, that BBW model is very unstable, and I've known her for years, and I've seen her go from a business point of view on her game, where she's been amazing. And the opportunities that have been presented to her in the process were opportunities that most of the BBW community will never even have been offered. She has a history of being abused herself. And that's where I'm waiting for somebody to come in and say, hey, you know what? Just because she was abused doesn't give you the right to be abused. It is a vicious circle. And in a situation like that, the best thing that you can do is separate yourself. She wasn't living with me. She wasn't even really there. And as far as, being a friend, and she got sucked into this false persona that she carries daily. She doesn't look at herself as herself. She looks at herself as this persona. And, the persona is bad and bougie. I'm going to kick your ass and wear diamonds in the process. All right. I don't get it twisted now. I have all of um, all of the texts and phone calls and voicemails that she sent me. And her recent reach out to me was just at the latter of June, and she told me to suck up my feelings, Buttercup, and to call her. I'm not. I have no reason to. I have no reason to reach out to you. You know, all games stopped when you threatened to hit me. She might have met pimps in the feeder game, but you know, when you have somebody who is psychologically twisted, and she was, um, as far as the vision of how she was going to do things and what she was going to do and how she was going to be on top of things. She pimped and played herself. She was her own pimp and hoe. So, you know, I wish her the best of luck. You know, I'm sure she'll be out there at the bash, and I'm sure she will have the persona that she carries on tilt. So, one day she's going to wake up because she's going to be 40 and she's going to say, oh, fuck, I'm 40 and I'm fat and I don't have anything to move on in life after that. What do I do? Oh, my God.
Is there a lot of backstabbing from females just within the BBW community?
Did you really ask me that?
Yeah, of course I did.
Yeah, them bitches are they're treacherous. Seriously. I will say that now that I'm coming on to another chapter in my life, that looking back at the behavior of these girls and the expectations that these girls seem to think that they have this entitlement. All right, let me clarify something. You are entitled to 3 things in life: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're entitled to another 3 things: life, death, and taxes. So what entitlement does it give you to try to ruin somebody else's life? Try to make yourself to be more. The only way that you can make yourself to be more is if you have a legitimate job, pay taxes, take your vitamins, and do it all over again 5 days out of 7. And you can honestly say, I earned a real check and filed taxes. I earned my own money doing a job that I don't like or I do like. And I don't have to worry about my body being worn out at the age of 30 looking like I'm 50. So my words to the models that are coming in: get in, get your money, and get the fuck out. Because there's nothing after you turn 40 in the BBW porn. You'll be on cam like the rest of us, or OnlyFans. Cut it out.
Do a lot of girls typically make a lot of mistakes in that BBW adult film and model game?
Yep. The biggest mistake was not listening to their gut instinct. And if their instinct told them, don't do it, guess what? You should have listened. One of the things that most people don't know about me was that when I was working for the state of Nevada, and I was working with disabled people, and I one day walked into the office. I had no idea that the photographer that had shot me was a friend of my boss.
Oh, damn.
He sat across from her desk and showed her all of my pictures that he had just shot of me. I was humiliated and didn't even know.
Small
that it had
world.
happened. I walked down the hall. The women in the office would look at me with so much disgust, look at me with, I mean, just like the claws were out. These women really and truly didn't know what to say to me, how to say it, and made me feel like I had done something and I didn't even know what it was. It wasn't until like, let's see, I was there for almost 9 years. It wasn't until about my 6th year that I had found out what had happened, because I had transferred into another department. And that manager told me, do you know what happened? I said, what are you talking about? She said, you know that there were pictures that were circulating in the office about you having your own website. I turned around and I looked at her and I said, what did you just say to me? She said, don't you have your own website? BBW Sam? I guess the color drained in my face, and I got mad. And I said, who told you about that? Because I don't talk about that here. She said, oh, it's no secret. Everybody knows. And I said, what do you mean? She said, go ask our main boss. So I walked into the main boss's office. I said, is there something you want to tell me? She said, yeah. And I said, what's that? She says, where did you get that lingerie that you had shot in?
I knew they wanted to be participants.
Yeah. And I'm like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? And she says, listen, I already know about it, and everybody has come to me and complained and said that you need to be fired because of that. She says, but I'm a firm believer that whatever you do after 5 o'clock, as long as it doesn't affect the clients, doesn't affect the client's family, and does not have any kind of repercussion on us, have fun, do you, baby. She said, if anything, where can I, who can I get to shoot pictures like that?
Yeah, how can I be down, huh?
Right. Funny part about it is she ended up becoming my girlfriend.
Oh,
So
I already know.
there was
You know I
my
know.
boss was my bitch. My boss was my bitch. I loved it. I never got in trouble. So,
For
but
shizzle.
again, I would, if you have kids, truthfully, all seriousness now, if you have kids and they are on the internet, and because of the words, the keywords, the search words that are put in, you can put in black socks, and the next thing you know, your mom is up there and your kids just saw the dimple on your ass because of it. No matter what you do, that shit is permanent in the internet. It's not going to go away. You're not Jay-Z. You can't make it go away. By the time you find out about it anyway, it's been researched and re-gurgled through all of the catchphrases about 50 million times. So, that is a decision that you ultimately have to make and understand that there's possible repercussions that could affect you financially, could affect you physically, could affect you emotionally.
With your experience in years that you've been in the adult BBW modeling and adult film industry game, have you had to deal with stalkers?
I had a stalker that worked one of the homes with me for the physically disabled, and he tried to trap me in the bathroom and had told me that if I didn't perform oral sex on him, he was going to report me as fucking the clients. And I told him he didn't have the balls to do it, and I pushed him out of the way. And the next day I was called into the office and I was terminated. They said that, now mind you, the clients that we were taking care of could not speak. They were mute. And he said that the director had told me I had been fired because the clients said I ate a pork chop.
What?
Yeah. And then the director showed up at AVN the following year and took pictures with me. Go figure.
Wow. So the director was a subscriber of your website the whole time, huh?
Probably. No doubt in my mind. There's, it's so sad that the porn BBW game is very, very small, but it's very big, Same with the BBW community. It's very small, but you fart and it went international. It's really, it makes you wonder, are you better off being by yourself and, living in a gated community with a dog? Or do you really want to continue to be, undercover? Undercover talked about, undercover abused, and undercover lied to by people who want to take pictures of you and, be with you because of who you know, not because of what you've done or accomplished.
They want to be with you because of what?
Who you know.
Oh, okay.
Not because of what you've accomplished in life or, the things that you've done to help people or change people's lives. So.
Would you say that you said that you had branched off and started doing your own thing, right? You got into opening up Thick Sundays, and so you had a bunch of girls up under you. Would you say that you changed a lot of women's lives?
Yes. A lot of people that came to dance for Thick Sundays had very low self-esteem, had very low feelings about themselves. And one of the things that self-esteem says very plainly, it's self. It's your esteem and how you project it. So a lot of these women would come up there and dance and feel a whole different sense of self-esteem because they weren't judged. They were in a environment that was safe to them. They knew that people were there to see them, their stretch marks, their bullet holes, their sagging breasts, and their cellulited thighs and butt, But they were there for her. They were, for the next 15 minutes on a stage, it was about her. And that was a self-esteem builder.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Would you say, how would you sum up the whole BBW community in general? If I was like a person that wanted to possibly venture inside the BBW community.
Don't.
You would tell me
Stay
don't?
away.
Stay away?
Stay the fuck away. Find a dog, a cat, a pair of socks, make that your best friend. Because though, don't get me wrong, all seriousness, there are some really great people out there. But then there's some really great people that will make a mockery of your life. So my best words to anybody in any situation that are getting ready to go into something that they're not aware of or the history of, be cautious, be selective, and be secure about yourself. Because there is somebody out there in that community that wants what you have. And it doesn't matter how many times they say they don't. They do. And they will set out and they will try very, very hard to ruin what you have. Take whatever is yours and say that they did it joyously. I've seen it over and over and over.
Yay. So, you got a little blog now, Sammee. Why don't you
Yeah.
tell the people out there a little bit about your blog and, what you be posting about and stuff?
My blog is called Sammee's Truth, and it's on Facebook. It's underscore. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. It's the @ symbol Sammy's underscore truth, and I talk about everything. Nobody is safe. No, nobody's safe. I have talked about the medical community here in Las Vegas, an experience that I had at Mountain View Hospital. I had talked about various things that people have talked to me about and asked what my real opinion is. One of the things that I had talked about was Photoshop failure. Photoshop failure to me was these girls and men who have gone in and altered their pictures so much. And then you watch a video of them and you're like, damn, how did they gain weight 4 hours later? You can't go in and fix video. So why would you want to fix your picture? But then, too, I'm not going to lie. I Photoshop a lot of stuff. If I have a pimple on my forehead or, black bags under my eyes. But I'm not to the point where I look like Leatherface. Some of these, girls go overboard with this.
Do you think that's a form of catfishing?
Huh? Oh, absolutely. It is a form of catfishing. Because, if I met you, Tree, and I had black bags under my eyes, my hair up in a ponytail, just like it is right now, and in a pair of sweats, guess what? From that point forward, those are the pictures you're going to get. Because you're seeing who I am. The real Sammee. Now, if I met you at AVN, XBiz, red carpet event, and I'm all made up and, all of that, you took pictures like that, I'm going to keep it going for you, bro. It's going to be Photoshopped.
Okay.
But you will never get the opportunity on that, red carpet to really get to know the person that I am. Nobody knows that I like to, crochet or make soul food cupcakes or, things like that. Nobody knows that.
Wait, hold
they
up,
do now,
hold up. Back up. A soul food cupcake.
Yeah, that's another venue that I have for myself that I'm working on.
You gotta break that down a little bit. This foodie gang on mines. You understand me? I'm a super foodie. Participant. Super foodie? Oh man, that's why I didn't understand the whole feeder thing. I don't try to knock nobody for whatever they into. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you into, you just into that. That has no concern or business of mine. I don't pay too much attention to it because I'm always giving that attention and energy to what I'm into. And I'm into food, so that's why I couldn't watch no woman sit there and eat. I'm trying to get my grub on too. Fuck that.
But please, whatever you do, don't sit up there and lie about it, and say you're 600 pounds today and, you put out there, oh, I lost 400 pounds in a year because I'm gunning for your ass because you're a liar. You're a liar.
Yeah, so, about that whole Photoshop aspect of it. You're saying that's a form of catfishing. And, it's very prevalent, man. It's like, the filter game. I done seen these whole transformation videos where the little Asian women, they know how to transform their eyes to where, their eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, they be taping their face.
They go from being a bowl of sour soup to the war wonton for real.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. So I know it's very sophisticated nowadays.
Wow.
In the whole beautifying department.
I have been using the same line of makeup for the last 10 years. I'm not, no, that's a lie. I am a makeup junkie. And I have like various brands that I still look at, but I haven't used. But I've always been a thrifty person as far as everything is concerned. I get a kick out of thrift stores and consignment places. I love garage sales. It's a little difficult now, going to those because of my wheelchair, but, I still show interest and watch the ones online. Um, Sometimes I will put in my blog about various places where I've been and have watched how various things have occurred and how it affected those people. The one thing about my blog is that people don't like it. And I think that's awesome. Please don't like it. Continue not to like it and share it, because all you're doing is building me a bigger fan base. And that's okay, because there's somebody out there that has experienced it just like me, or has saw it but the didn't have the sense or the courage to say anything about it. There was a insert on my blog that I had done talking about the sex dolls. I don't know if you had the opportunity to read about that, but sex dolls are a multi-million-dollar entity that is coming full force. Each doll that is created ranges anywhere from 5,000 on to extremely, really big dollar of making of these dolls. And there was a lady who had a sex club out here. It was called the Studios, and the Studios was stripped their license because there was a man who had brought a sex doll and took the doll down to the dungeon and was allowing people to pay him to have sex with the doll. They considered it, I guess you would say, a pimping situation. So they closed, they closed the doors on the studio, and the owner moved the studio up to Pahrump, rightfully so, because prostitution is legal up there.
Hey, that's some bullshit though. Like, if dudes want to pay me to have sex with a doll, it ain't even another human being, and they want to lock me up. I had to fight that one.
Well, you know what? Joyce, her name was Joyce, who owned it. Joyce was tired. She had been fighting the community where the location with the studio was. The studio, if you drove by it, looked just like a regular house until they put up the sign that said studio and flipped on the purple lights at night. So, the residential community over there, was complaining to the commission, and they wanted it removed because it was within so many feet of a church and so many feet of a school. And that's one of the things that you cannot do, just like shooting porn. You have to be so many feet away from a school, has to be behind closed and locked doors, things like that. Hell, I'm not going to lie, I shot a video in my condo that was 10 feet away from the front door of a preschool. So after I had shot it, that's when I had found out that, truthfully, I could have gotten into a lot of trouble, and that's when I stopped shooting in my condo and was finding different locations. So, it's just...
that makes sense, because it's all types of rules and regulations, I guess, within shooting.
Yeah, there really is. There is so many rules and regulations, and it's like, where do you go from here? So that would have been, again, that would have been another insert that I would have done, in reference to the sex dolls. But when I had drew the initial thing about the sex dolls out, it's like, wait a minute. It wasn't the fact of it being, a plastic partner. Do you know what these dolls look like?
Is that a plastic partner?
And I have posted pictures of these dolls. They are so realistic. It's amazing. And these people that want to play with these human Barbies actually have significant others that support it. And they're not afraid. They're not embarrassed. They'll take, it'll be a him, her, and the doll at the movie or out to dinner. And they will embrace this doll as if it is their third partner. So
I think that some women would still have a problem with a doll, even though it ain't another physical human being, actual human being. It's just a doll. I think some women will have a problem with their man being with a doll because he's showing some type of attention or emotion to that doll. And some women may feel like that's all for them, or it should be all for them.
I agree to a point. Women are really weird creatures.
Oh, indeed.
We always want to be admired. We always want to be told. We always want to hear what we want to hear and feel. But you can't take that choice away from your partner. If your partner wants to fuck a doll, guess what? Let him do it. Because the doll isn't going to give him an STD. The doll isn't something that you're not aware of. And you don't have to worry about that doll coming back and saying, guess who's the daddy? I know those are kind of like lame thoughts, but if you think about it, the doll really would curb a lot of the issues of self-esteem that most of these women have. He may like on you the saggy boobs and the flat ass, but the doll was made based on a fantasy. Think about it. I mean, you have a doll and you have them made up like they belong on Star Trek, and they've got the pointy ears and the tentacles, and there's a third breast. Okay, so there's an extra breast. Do you want to share? It makes up for a lot of conversation between you and your partner. I will say that. And it does open up a lot of questions, feelings, and is also a deal breaker if you're not completely honest about what you're doing with the doll.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you do? Bring it to dinner and say, hi, honey, I brought somebody home? Or do you build that doll together for both of you?
Yeah, it's an interesting topic indeed. I didn't even know that these dolls were so popular like that per se.
Ooh.
And it I ain't gonna lie, I'm upset that they charged that dude for pimping and pandering. For dude to because dudes wanted to pay him to have sex with a doll.
Exactly.
That's some bullshit.
Joyce is lucky that they didn't charge her with facilitating that. Because Nevada's petty. And they do that. So, I wish Joyce the best of luck, no matter where she's at. I've actually thought about opening a dollhouse. I know that sounds weird, but, there are people who find gratification in taking care of people. So instead of having a human body, I'll give you a Barbie to change clothes and talk to so that you can have that gratification.
Hey, would you say these feeder dudes have that type of gratification?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The gratification of bringing home,
they want a helpless woman they can take care of.
Yep. And they completely depend on them for everything. food, water, shelter, mental, physical, financial, all of it. It's a that's a whole world all of its own.
Yeah, I noticed, and it seemed like the dudes that they're like in the closet about it.
Yes.
So I know they know that there's probably something wrong maybe going on there, because they don't want you to know about this side of them, that they have this personality trait. It just be like me hiding the fact that I like fat girls. It's
True.
like, that's just me. I ain't finna hide that. I ain't finna hide something that makes me happy, per se. You feel me? And so,
that's one of those things, that you can say, who controls your happiness? Who controls your happiness? What controls your happiness today? You make that choice to indulge in whatever, with whoever, and really, it isn't anybody's responsibility to accept that except you and God and that person that you're with. Unfortunately, society does not understand that part. So I if you like it in my life, I love it. If that's what you want to do and that's who you want to be with, I'm happy for you, man, as long as she makes you happy. But the psychological abuse in a feeder's life, I still, truth be told, go to therapy. I still have issues on certain things. Like, sometimes I have to remind myself to eat because I was disgusted by food towards the end. And that's, I am seeing a doctor because now for some reason I have lost an excessive amount of weight again. And I'm not doing anything to promote it, or, that would have started it, like taking phentermine or anything like that. It's just happening. And it kind of has made me worry a little bit. Sometimes I'll eat and I'll get sick. I'll get like I want to vomit feeling because of it. And then I have to remind myself, this is for you to live, not for somebody to laugh at. And I'll have to push the plate away and sit there and talk myself with, using my affirmations to make myself understand, hey, it's okay, you can eat. I have subconsciously limited myself as far as eating is concerned. If you were to come to my house right now, you'd be mad. There is nothing in my refrigerator. There's nothing in my freezer.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Ain't no snacks or zooms and wham whams?
No. There's nothing. I won't allow myself to do that. And with the type of job that I have now, I shouldn't even call it a job, it's a hobby. I don't want to seem like I'm trapped and I have to eat in that small area. So, when people say, like, if I wanted to go have fish, I wouldn't put the fish in my car. It would go in the trunk because the smell would trigger something psychologically, and I wouldn't eat it by the time I got home. I just, you have to really rewire yourself when you're not in that life. And sometimes it can be longer than others to do that rewire mentally and emotionally. But
Did you know a lot of other women in this feeder lifestyle?
I did. They don't, really put it out there and say, "Hi, my name is, I'm a feeder," or I'm feeder so and so's girl. Um, you'd be surprised going to a lot of these um, feeder conventions who you run into. One feeder might have 6 feedees, and out of those 6 feedees, you might know 3 of them.
You said feeder convention?
Uh-huh.
So they be having conventions for this?
Mm-hmm. Just like anybody else, they have products, for feederism, like different feeding tubes, stuff like that.
Different feeding tubes.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning of the interview, they have funnel tubes that they can use to feed you, and you can different vendors will come for that. Different vendors for clothing for the larger person. The ones that go past the 6X.
So break down descriptively to me, like, what is a feeding tube and how does it work?
A feeding tube it's a tube that's attached to a funnel, and you pour like milkshake mix or what like you blend up a cheesecake or something, and you feed it to them directly into the tube, and they drink that. So it goes directly into the stomach. There's no, you don't stop, take a breath. You eat it until it's gone.
Wow.
Mhm. I knew a feeder that had a feedie, and he had put so much weight on the feedie, she could not bathe in a regular bathtub. They had to use their kids' pool, and he had to hose her down every day.
Yeah, they got this new TV show out called My 600-Pound Life. Now, why you laugh?
It's funny. My 600-pound life. Okay, so what happened to the 100 pounds that you had in the beginning of the life? Come on now.
So, like, are the women typically that are in these shows, do they live like the feeder lifestyle?
Yes.
Hold on, I gotta
some of them
find that picture.
Some of them may live the feeder lifestyle. Some of them are just so upset and are so depressed with themselves that they have put on the weight on a regular basis. It doesn't have to be a contribute to feederism. It has to do with contributing to yourself. Oh, hey, I know him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's that. I got it appear on the screen right here. Okay, yeah. So I guess that's what's this girl's name? She's currently featured in the episode My 600-Pound Life.
Yes, that is her. It's her and her sister. And yeah, it's real interesting. That show, I've caught it a couple of times. I haven't seen the emphasis on where he came into the relationship. I don't know what the motive behind that show is, to be honest with you. Just like, I feel like I don't know what the motive between with hoarders. Who cares if you live in a box of shit? I don't. You know what? I think her name is Amy, to be honest. She was with an African American guy in the episode, and come to find out that African American guy and his wife were in the beginning episodes. He never left his wife and did the episodes as Amy's boyfriend, I guess, for a while. I don't know that if there is really any factual contributing on behalf of that show, other than the fact that, yes, she is excessively overweight. Yes, she is trying to change her ways, trying to be better for herself. But truthfully, dealing with him, she's not doing any better. I'll say that.
Oh, sure. We got no nonsense Stucky up in the hizzle for shizzle. What's up with you, sis? She said that's her sister is Amy and this girl name is Tammy.
Okay.
Yeah, so like, let me ask you, does this, you said typically these girls on 600-pound life, they're involved into the feedy lifestyle. Does 600-pound life actually cover that?
I don't know. It's possible that they may have in the beginning, they may have shown, and I'm not saying the beginning of this particular insert segment of this show, I'm saying in the beginning of the development of the show, they may have said, you know, hey, maybe we should point out this, maybe we should point out that. I don't know. You know, production is something where it's done behind closed doors. So who knows what was discussed. When I did the show for Fat for Cash, production had a lot of things that they wanted me to do, but I made sure that, and made plenty of emphasis, that this was about my life. So I'm not going to change my life or what I do in my life on the chance that it might up your ratings. I think that this particular show might have some concerning factors on the health and well-being of an overweight person, because they do show her and her sister going to the doctor. I don't know if they showed when her sister had the baby how difficult it was or wasn't because of her overweightness. I think that if anybody sits down and engages in, you know, watching these shows for any amount of time, that they have to give a complete and utter understanding, first of all, that this person that got on that screen and is discussing, you know, all of their triumphs and failures about their obesity is going through a lot emotionally, because you have now opened yourself up to the world for ridicule and for the possibility of so many things that could be said that could be emotionally scarring. And hopefully for her and her sister on that show, they do have some kind of a, you know, psychiatric support, because just in the couple episodes that I saw with them, the sisters go at each other like fire. And some of the things that they can say about each other going through the physician's appointments, or even going to the foot spa, they can be two real catty and petty people. So you imagine if that's what they're going through with each other, what are they going on, you know, what's going on outside? What's, you know, how are the things that people are posting and saying, encouraging them to continue with their weight loss?
Is she making progress in her weight loss?
You know, Tree, honestly, I haven't watched in a while. It'll probably be, you know, after we get done with this, it'll probably be on my list of things to do. And I'm sure I'll send you a text and say, no, or yes, she is making progress. But one of the things that definitely that she would need to do to make that progress is shake the fake folks in her life and give herself the opportunity to do better for herself and with herself.
Would you say that she got that big because of living the feedy lifestyle?
No, I would say she got the dig because at that particular time when production was trying to find something that they thought would be good for the ratings, this was different. This was an obscure type of show. This was something that maybe, they were hoping that people out there would understand who had feeding disorders or had emotional disorders because of being in an overweight, unhealthy relationship. So I hope that the show is using the positive resources and telling them that, yes, you do have options. You can try to lose the weight yourself. You can try to lose the weight with medical support, or you can, go ahead and have the VSG and try to lose the weight with that. There's no actual reason to the madness of how or why this show got where it is. But understand, people are stupid, and I'm saying in general, we all like drama. We all like to see that somebody else is doing worse than we are. So I'm going to watch somebody else's misery for 5.7 minutes. And then the commercial is going to come on, and I'm going to see an ice cream commercial or a bra or panty commercial for fat people because of this show. And then we're going to go back, and I'm going to eat some more popcorn and drink some more Coke and have a candy bar while this girl is crying about having, fat and what is that, chicken's crow feet up underneath the fourth fat lap on her belly. Stop laughing at me.
I'm not laughing. I was just over here thinking like,
I'm messing with you.
Food addiction, is a very touchy subject, and I think, we as a society suffer from it, in a general sense. I'm addicted to food. I'm addicted to everything that's unhealthy. I don't eat healthy at all. I talk about food so much.
Nobody does.
I sit there and salivate on food pictures off the internet. I watch the Food Network all the time. I'm watching food videos. I like food. I like deep fried stuff. I know I have an addiction. You feel what I'm saying? And
there's a difference between watching an addiction and participating in that addiction 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year, and actually making the food that you see and having it in front of you, and you're feeding
I'm going
a
all
food
in.
addiction.
I'm going all in. I have a food addiction, to the point where I talk about food so much to where one of my listeners clowned me one time. He said, "Tree, man, you always talking about your food and shit, man." He said, man, I bet your spirit animal was a fat nigga.
Sorry.
I fell out laughing. I said, because he told the truth. You know what I'm saying? So I think just the whole food addiction in general, a lot of people suffer from it. And then people, they may suffer from it differently than everybody else. I mean, I'm not a big dude. I'm thin. I'm slim. I guess my metabolism is just faster, but I'm unhealthy just like the next person. And that's what, goes to me thinking that how can I like ridicule somebody else for the same addiction that I have myself, if I want to be technical.
You see, my food addiction was I would have to say that my food spirit, my my food spirit has got to be a person that went through Jenny Craig, and I'm jogging holding an apple turnover.
Yeah, your spirit animal. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm probably holding a blunt in my other hand while I'm trying to run to go to the bakery.
Yeah, man. I know I'm just now realizing stuff and just knowledge in general about food, and that goes back to the old saying, you are what you eat. And I'm realizing.
Well, then, you know what? Then I am a 5-tier white cake with coconut frosting, baby.
Now, I am a deep fried everything. That's
Damn it.
But yeah, I'm starting to realize, the whole stomach is a brain per se. And I'm learning about different foods, healthier foods to start eating, and so I'm adding the greens and different type of vegetables, and I'm starting to make a change slowly but surely. But man, I have a food addiction. I love food. All the unhealthy stuff.
Yeah, I can say that. I can say that whenever, I get excited whenever I see the Krispy Kreme light comes on, but that doesn't mean I have to stop.
Too? Shit.
Oh, yeah. Look, I got food wars going on over here in my block. Let me tell you how this works. So when you come out of my condo and you hit the main street, first thing you hit when you hit that corner, you get tropical smoothie, and that's on the left. Then on the right, you've got a conjoinment of business, which is Domino's and Dunkin' Donuts. Then you go across the parking lot, same area, same entity, and now you have Popeyes. So then you're going to go around the garbage can and you're going to cut through the parking lot, and now you have just met up with Riviera's Mexican and Carl's Jr. So you pull out of the parking lot. There's 7-Eleven right there on the corner. Pull out of the parking lot, go to make a left, and here it goes. You've got Wendy's. You've got Polo Ocampo. Across the street from there, you have Starbucks, Dutch Brothers, a soon-to-be Pink Donut. You have Krispy Kremes across from that. You have what is that right there? McDonald's. And it's like, damn. Taco Bell, Jack in the Box. On the other side, we're next to Walmart. And that's within a 5-block radius.
Man, I got all the food blueprinted, mapped out in my head. So let me ask you, man, the light bulb just went off in my motherfucking head. Hold on. So look here, man. I mean, I know I have this food addiction. You understand me? And I enjoy being fed. So if I'm involved in a relationship where, I enjoy my woman feeding me all the time, you understand me, and she enjoys feeding me, shit, am I in a feeder relationship?
Did you make it a lifestyle?
No,
if it was a one-time thing, it's fun. 2 times possibly could be a fetish. But if you live this life every day, and it's repetitious, that at 6 o'clock in the morning you turn on the coffee, get the fattest creamer that you can, got the chocolate croissants, and the melted chocolate to pour over the strawberries and stuff, and that's at 7 o'clock, and then at 11 o'clock you got snacks, and then again at 12 o'clock here comes lunch, then at 2 o'clock you got snacks again, 5 o'clock is dinner. Let's talk about the midnight snack.
Oh, fuck it. I'm guilty then.
That's a lifestyle.
No, I'm just clowning, man. Yeah, because I'm trying to get fed like that. You understand me? No, but I understand. I'm just making light of the situation, but I understand from your perspective, how the man, I guess, uses this food as a weapon to control the woman. Emotionally,
Absolutely.
physically, and psychologically.
Absolutely.
But I also, try to put the shoe on the other foot, because, there's a yin and there's a yang, and, you're always gonna, for whatever you put out into the universe, you're always gonna have somebody or someone or even a group of people that try to counter that. You know what I'm saying? So
this is true.
I just try to, putting myself in their shoes per se and speak from their perspective or bring up some counters that they would probably bring up. You know, so that they don't feel so solely left.
No, I understand what you're saying, but then, you know, you got to look at it in the public aspect. If you're driving down the street, and again, we're still on my street, mind you, in 5 block radius, and you have, this is what was just built, an EOS 2-story gym behind Starbucks and in front of, behind Panda Express and behind Chick-fil-A, and then on the next corner, same little thing right there, same street, next corner, you have Red Lobster. What's the purpose of that? Why would you have EOS over there with all that bullshit?
What is EOS?
That's the name of one of the gyms out here.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it's just all part of the whole overall industry, the whole mind fuck. In general, they use food to control us.
Absolutely. Did you see about this person in some kind of a Senate position or a government position that's fighting for a Chick-fil-A on a campus? Are you serious? You're going to put food in school like that? They're closed on Sunday, too, so I don't know. How is that going to work out?
Yeah, I'd be mad that they close on Sunday, but I understand and respect their religious beliefs. Shout out to Chick-fil-A. I am highly addicted to it. I'll be having to have at least once a week.
Wait a minute. I got to tell you about who's addicted to Chick-fil-A. You know my dog, King, right? Mm-hmm. Let me tell you about King. I went to Chick-fil-A, got a chicken sandwich. That's all, and a soda and an ice cream cone. Okay. Ice cream cone was for me. The chicken sandwich was for me. The soda was for me. I go and put the chicken sandwich down on the car seat. The dog is sitting there. The chicken was still wrapped. This little fat bastard ate through the paper, ate the chicken, and all in the I would say in less than 30 seconds, would turn around to go pay the lady. I turned around and he's got wrapper hanging from his mouth. And I just looked at him. And he looked at me like, what's next? Where's the fries? Mm-hmm. I will never take the dog to Chick-fil-A again. Yeah. This is how we stopped going to Starbucks because, he used to get his little foam, his little Dogachino, and then he realized that Mamachino was better. So he can stay home, and I'll eat my chicken. Thank you.
But yeah, I've had a lot of homegirls. I guess they were involved in the feeder lifestyle, and I guess I never realized it. It's like I was there and I saw it, and I just thought nothing of it per se, because shit, I'm addicted to food too. Like, for example, my homegirl will hook up, some of these dudes be top fucking chefs. Some of these dudes who are feedies or, they know how to cook like a motherfucker. These niggas, they went to chef school. And, some of my homegirls be like hooking up with these dudes and they be posting these pictures, these food pictures.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so, me, I think nothing of it. Me, I see the motherfucking food pictures and my motherfucking addiction clicks. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, hey, sis, what's up with that nigga, man? When you gonna introduce me to him and shit? Because I'm trying to get a plate of food, too.
Hey, what time is dinner? Let's go.
Yeah, so it's like I never realized it till, some of my homegirls would come out with their stories in the end. They would let me know, like, what's really going on. Or they would do a documentary with, what you say, some of them boys, BBC, them overseas people that be doing the documentaries on y'all and stuff, the one you say did Big Sundays?
What is that? The UK people?
Yeah, the UK people.
The BBC, the Daily Mail, stuff like that.
Yeah, I would see these documentaries that had millions of views, and I'm like, oh shit, that's my homegirl. and she, be telling this story about abuse. And I was like, wait a minute, I was there for that, and I didn't see it.
You're not going to see it.
You know what
I'm
saying?
Because we hide it so well. Women are sponges, we can put on a happy face and you would never know that this is going on behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Until we can't take no more.
Mm-hmm. I see now. So, that's why this was always a interesting topic, and I hope, more people that are involved in this lifestyle, they be willing to come forward and talk about it,
They might, but then again, humility has a lot to do with it. When people see you and you're, driving around in a $30,000 car and have a Herman's bag and, Gucci on your feet and a fat ass belly where you can't close your coat, they just assume that you are in love, you're happy, and you two are just sitting around eating all fucking day. But on that other note, they don't know that before you got into that $30,000 car, an hour prior, you just had a tube stuck down your throat and you drank about 3,200 calories of a concoction that they thought they wanted to try on you. And it, the base was of some kind of shake mix or protein gain weight mix or something of that sort. And voila.
Yeah, so, okay, well, hold up. The dudes be mixing weight gain within, like, the shakes. For example, you say, like, they blend up cheesecake and they pour it down a tube. Mm-hmm. So within this cheesecake mix, these dudes then mixed up some weight gainer?
Absolutely.
Damn, now that's some other shit.
And they want you to tell them. Here they're holding, whatever over your head, the house payment, the car payment, that diamond bracelet that you want, and they want you to say, Daddy, make me fatter. I want to be as big as your heart. I want to be the only thing big in your life. Feed me more. And that's just a part of it. That's just a stitch in the quilt. And then if it's, they decide that day that they want to be assholes, your feeder, and they want you to beg more. And the more you beg, the more weight gain they put in that shit. And the more they make you feel bad because you haven't gained weight. So now you're going to take a double dose, little girl. And they'll even put a bib around your neck.
Okay, well, what if it was one of these dudes who had this, like, feeder fetish, but he fed the woman all healthy things?
If he was a food fetish, if there was a food fetish with healthy food, it wouldn't be a feeder, because the feeder's, optimum win is my bitch is fat.
So the feeder, he would choose all unhealthy stuff.
Listen, I have a friend who is a feeder right now, and randomly yesterday he tells me, I just fucked a fat sow.
Oh wow!
And I kind of looked at that text and I was like, what? And then he said, well, pray for me, because tomorrow I have a 650-pound woman that I'm going to ride, and tomorrow afternoon I have another one. So together I'm riding 1,100 pounds. And I'm thinking, don't get stuck underneath them. I didn't know what to say, because if you still, if there is a feeling that he kind of is looking at me as part of, the piggy pack, we've been friends for a long time. I'm just a piglet in this, in that mud bowl.
So within these feeder relationships that these men have with the women, do they refer to the women as derogatory things, as cow, all the time? It's
Yes.
like, is that normal?
Sometimes they will even have you put on masks or a little pig nose and call you that. Come here, little piggy, let me feed you.
Oh, so it's, damn, this shit is deep. So it's like a thing of humiliation as well too, to
Yes.
demoralize another human being. That's part of it.
Yes. Yes. Sometimes they'll put they'll make a pen in their house. They'll take an entire room and make it look like a barn pen, and have you sleep in it in a you know what is that, some type of onesie, like a cow print or something like that. And he'll be like, go ahead and snorkel, go ahead and snort at me, daddy's gonna feed you and bring you a whole box of Oreos or some shit. It depending on the type of feeder that you have and what the extent of their fetish is. You could have a new feeder, or you can have a pro. And if you have a pro, expect everything and doubt nothing, because that feeder's feeling is very deep, very disturbing, very damaging, not only to you but to himself. You don't even know that. You really don't know the aspect of your feeder until you're face to face and they disclose stuff to you. Otherwise, you're meeting them on websites, you're meeting them on Facebook, you're meeting them at these BBW conventions, and everybody thinks, oh, it's cute. It's not cute once you can't get up and wipe your own ass. It's not cute when people are making fun of you because you have an odor that you didn't know you had, because why? You thought you hit all of those cracks and crevices. That is a very detrimental life. If I could take back the years that I had with that relationship and just keep the relationship minus the food, yeah, it would have been, I would have been just fine. I got sucked up into a false lifestyle. And at any moment, that feeder can always find somebody else and pull that lifestyle from you.
And that's what I was going to ask you.
And leave you destitute.
Is that what happened to you? Did he just go to the next woman and start feeding her?
Yeah. Yep, but understand, I'm not your average, your average person, average woman that's not always got something, a fundament of income somewhere. So, I may not, have the 7 incomes that make $1 million, but I don't have any eviction notices on my door either.
I'll be wanting to interview one of these dudes, but like I said, they be in the closet about their little fetish, because I want to gain some insight and get their psychological perspective of it, and basically ask them, why, what turned you on about this, or how did you acquire this particular fetish about feeding women, and somehow that transmute to you having some type of sexual arousal or gratification from it.
You might be able to interview them just by having a simple conversation. And, you would be surprised how a person will open up. If you're sitting, prime example, when you go to that thing next week, there's going to be plenty of opportunity to get that conversation, because there's going to be a lot of women who are actually being preyed upon. So, it's different things that you can say that will spark that conversation. Mm-hmm. So be ready for everything when you go next week. You might be surprised that that person that you sat across the table might be your next guest.
You said my next guest on the shizzo, huh?
Yes.
But yeah, it's like it blew my mind because I never knew once I saw these documentaries, and I'm like, oh shit, that's the homegirl. You know, and they was telling me all these stories about, you know, the men they were involved in a relationship, you know, from the outside looking in. I thought they were just, you know, living a happy life. And like I say, I would see all the food pictures on the internet, and I'll be pulling up. And, you know, I would see the dudes, you know, I feel the energy. The niggas be like smirking. They ain't like me up over there. But I'll be like, nigga, get up in there and deep fry some shit, nigga. I see all this good food, nigga. I want some too, nigga. Shit, you in here cooking for the homegirl like that, man? I'm her brother, nigga. You know, getting there and scramble me some eggs too. Yeah, man. You know, I'm pulling up, man. Where my plate at? But, you know, I didn't know, you know, the deeper aspects of it. Like, you know, some of the stuff you explained, they explained it too, you know, the feeding tubes. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, what? Wait, back up here. You know, I was like, whoa.
Oh, yeah. You would be, I mean, there was times I would come home and there would be, you know, a box from Box.com or from M&M factory, and it was nothing but chocolate. You know, nice pretty box wrapped up inside that mailbox. And, you know, here, you know, can you take a picture with the chocolate smudge on your face for me? Let me know you're thinking about me today. You know, shit like that. And I would definitely fake the funk. I would bust open one of them chocolates and I would hold it in my hand and make it soft, and then I would put a smudge on my face. And then I'd give the kids in the neighborhood the chocolate.
It's crazy. Yay. So yeah, shout out to everybody that joined this discussion. We're gonna have Sammee Matthews back on the show with us on a regular and frequent basis, so we can tap in with her and she can tell us some more of her wonderful stories, our experiences within the BBW adult entertainment game. That seems to be a popular subject. It's got a lot of the characters within that world per se, you know, and you know, we'll reach out to Sammee and gain some insight for the nitty gritty.
Absolutely.
You guys can always tune into her Blizzog. She has a blog. What is this called? Sammy's Truth?
Yes, it's on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Shizzle.
Yeah, it's the @ symbol Sammee SAMMEE _ truth.
That's what's up, man. We got her handle. That's her Instagram page. So you got any questions about anything, business propositions, you can contact Sammee right there at Sammee Matthews on Instagram, and also Sammee Matthews on Facebook as well. We coming in live and direct right here on 2 of my Facebook pages and also my YouTube page.
Oh.
And I tagged you in the post as well, so anybody want to just simply click. If you're in Facebook, you can just click her name and follow her that way and get tuned into her blog, where she be having some hot, juicy topics, you know, about the BBW community.
I got one that's coming up, trust me.
Oh,
I may not, you know, on the written blog, I might not be on there every day, but I make sure that when I do blog, I come with the receipts, and I actually come with the actual people's names, and you can tell when their friends and family are pissed off at me, because why? They'll make a comment, and I think that's great. That they have, you know, feelings, that they think what they think, and they can speak and put it out there. But truthfully, their thoughts don't make a difference to me, because I speak from experience.
So what you saying, Sammee, is you be calling out names on your Blizzog?
Yeah. I called out names today.
That's what's up.
You know, why? I mean, come on now. You know, why am I gonna lie? I'm, you know, almost as old as Methuselah's aunt, and you know, what are you gonna do? Send me to the principal? Am I gonna get a spanking? Come on now.
Well, that's what the folks want to see.
There is no reason why anybody should have to lie or hide. Speak the truth. The truth is what is gonna keep you free, not set you free. Keep you free.
That's what the folks want to see anyway. They want receipts. You know, they want you to call out names. They like it when you get down to the nitty gritty, per se. You know, so Sammee got it for you. You want it, she got it. Everything you need. Yay, yay. For shizzle. But yeah, Sammee, appreciate you for joining the show. Like I say, you guys got any questions about anything, hit Sammee Matthews up at the proper contact info we put up here on the screen. Like I said, that's her Instagram handle right there. You can click onto her Facebook. Then she got the blog going on called Sammee's Truth that she keeps updated on a regular and frequent basis. Yay, yay. You got any questions about anything, Miss Sammee Matthews? I appreciate you for coming on the show today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you tracking me down to make me do this because it was needed.
True that. Oh yeah, I always get my interview, you know. So all you ladies out there, or even gentlemen, if I've contacted you in the past about getting an interview, and we may have touched bases and talked about it and may not have hooked up because our schedules haven't permitted, I'm still gonna track your ass down.
I know. You caught me in the bathroom, remember?
Yeah. I'm going to track you down. We're going to get this interview under Wizzy. All day, every day, even on Sunday. You know, this is TreeTvRadio, the #1 media source for BBW, SSBBW, and plus size women. Yay, yay. And we like venturing out into some other things. We got some things popping over here at TreeTvRadio. We got the docu-series coming out, you know, about the Skid Row homeless, which I know is going to do very well. It's already a large interest out there. We've been out there doing some filming, getting some little clips, you know, and also about the prostitution life out there. You know, TreeTvRadio gonna give you inside exclusive where we go deep inside the belly of the beast on the world famous Hostro Blade of Figueroa. You know, but we're gonna have the uncensored version on OnlyFans because, you know, places like YouTube and Facebook, they be tripping. You know, so and these, you know, these women, and they got the blade out there. What is it called? Tropicana Boulevard?
Tropicana and Boulder Highway.
Yeah, that's the blade out there in Vegas. I'm finna go out there and capture that blade as well too.
The homeless spot is off of West Owens and Main Street, and on the other side of Las Vegas Boulevard.
Oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna be out there. The whole TreeTvRadio Clickeration gonna be out there in Vegas next week, getting our party on. You know, I'm gonna be out there doing some filming as well. But I'm gonna say the filming. You know, when I film the Blade out there, the host roll out there in Vegas, I'm gonna do that when it get a little bit cooler. Because right now in Vegas, ladies and gentlemen, it's like triple digit burning lava sun out there that will flame your ass up. So I'm trying to be up in the casino where it's air conditioned at, you know. But I will come outside at nighttime. Nighttime is a whole different element, you know. Shout out to Las Vegas, Nevada, and all my peoples out there, man. You know, get ready, because your boy TREE coming to party. And like I say, you know, I will hit you up, Sam, if we get too fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I'll hit you up, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we only gonna have like a couple days out there. But we shall be back. Like I say, when it cool down a little bit, I'm gonna come out there and be doing some filming. I got some projects underway out there in Las Vegas. I may be getting some residents out there. What the price is like out there in Vegas? I heard they went up and shit, far as the housing and stuff.
You know, they go up everywhere. Because all your people from California are moving here. Take your family back and things will go back down.
Everybody, you know, I just want to get a residence out there and, you know, be like back and forth.
Right.
From Cali to
Vegas.
We'll
talk about it when you get out here.
For us, shizzle. All right, then, yeah, like I say, anybody got any questions about anything, hit us, Miss Sammee Matthews up And I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Say bye-bye to the party people out there, Sammee.
Bye-bye, party people out there.
Yeah, you all have a good one out there. Stay on the line, Sammee. I'm going to end the show.
All right.
You party people out there, have a good one out there. You got any questions about anything, hit your boy up in the backdrop. Shout out to all the people that joined the Shizzo. Shout out to you, sis, no nonsense. Stucky. Who else is up in this thing? Leonard. Shout out to you, Playboy. Yeah. Fist Warner Allen. Pooh Crumb. Shout out to you. Chris Walter from Facebook. You know. Yeah. Shout out to all the party people. You wonderful people. Have a good one out there.